Hello, today we are going to learn about the constructor overriding in Python, and we are going to be looking at one of the examples also. So that let me describe you what is constructor overriding is. It basically refers to the practice of providing a custom implementation of the constructor init method in a subclass, and then that overrides the constructor inherited from a superclass, from the bigger class. Like let me write the definition here. What it is, it refers to the practice of overriding the custom implementation of the constructor. And then what is that constructor is? That constructor is like init method. We can write init method in a subclass, and then that overrides the constructor inherited from superclass. Then it overrides the constructor inherited from the superclass. Like superclass is if we make like class animal and then we make a dog class, the derived class, then we use the animal as a parent class, that is called the superclass. So that we have an exercise. If we perform this exercise, if we solve this exercise, then we will have the clear concept on constructor overriding. Create a base class person with attributes name and age, and then after that we have to create a derived class student. Derived class student means we have to this is the class which will use the bigger class, or the class which you perform as a base class, that is person. We have to use person in student, and that also has an attribute student id. We have to add the student id attribute to the name and age we previously have. Now we have to implement the init method in both classes to initialize these attributes and in instantiate a student object and print its attributes. So that let's do is what first class, what we have been given, person, and then definition init method. Let's say comma name comma age. These are all given in the questions. Now we have to take that the variables name equals to name, and then self dot age equals to age. So now what we have to do for, according to the question, is create a class student, and then what we have to do is use the previous class person. Now in method, now what we have to write is we have to add the student id to the already given one, like self comma name is student, and then id, student id, it is given. Now we have to take this like we have to get access to the student id also. Yeah, so that what we can do is equals to student id to access to this variable also, and then now we have to gain the access to the self, the name and age in the class person. So that how can we get, there are actually two methods to get that. I will use the basic method. Person is the class one dot init, and then what we have is we write self name comma is. Then in this way we can get access to the class person, and that we already initialize their value. And then now we have to what we have to do is create the instance of the object. Now we have to create the object of the student one. Now we don't use the person class, we have to use the student class because we are performing constructor overriding. That's why. Now x equals to student, it is the class, and then when this is the object. Now we have formed the object. Now what attributes it can go there is student name, maybe Monish, it's my name, and then comma, what we can put is age 24, and then student ID, let me set 2048. Like we have created the instance. Now let's try to print just the student ID. X dot print x dot student ID. Will it now this has to print 2048. Yeah, 2048, that is the student ID. Now let's print all the attributes. Now we have already instantiate a student object. Now we have to print their attributes also, so that print, let's print all in this same line. We can use this method. Name. Name, what can be the name? X dot name, we got the value of name from there. Age, what can be the age? X dot age, and then another one, like let's say ID. We have already printed, but let's print here also. X dot student ID. Now we have to include it in the quotation mark and close the curly bracket. Now what it has to print is the name like Monish, and then 24, and then student ID to 2048, so that if that is printed, then we have performed constructor overriding using one of the example. Like in this question we have used constructor overriding to solve this problem. Yeah, that's it. Name is 24 and ID 2048. Now there is another thing that we can perform here. Like we use the person dot init to get access to the class person. We also can use super and then init, and then when we don't have to put the initialization variable, so that just name comma age. If we use this also, all it will work. Like you can use this one or this one, any of the given. So that's it. If you want to get to know about the many of the other concept in Python, you can like, share and subscribe.